Hi guys. I know it's been a while. Well, it hasn't been super long since I made a video last, but I'm actually at my sister's right now, dog and house sitting for her while she and my her family are at Disney World. Lucky. But I thought I'd go ahead and make this video. Sorry, because like I said, I'm by myself, so I thought it'd be perfect. Or at least when I'm making the video, I'm by myself. So tonight for this video, I wanted to talk about something that recently happened to me. So this past November, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which means that my pancreas is resistant to insulin and doesn't know how to use it properly. Now, if someone is has type 1 diabetes, that means that their pancreas does not make enough insulin. So that's the difference between the two. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about about my symptoms and how I was diagnosed. And then after, in the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about what happened after my diagnosis. I thought I was going to make this I was originally thinking about making this into 2 parts, but I realized it wasn't really long enough. So when I first filmed it, then I realized it wasn't long enough, so I decided to refilm it completely. And so if you hear anything in the background, I do want to let you know that it's probably my sister's dog walking around. And I may have to get up to let her out to the bathroom. I don't know. Anyways, so like I said, this past November, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It was 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember for sure, before before Thanksgiving. And so, yeah, for several months before my diagnosis, I was feeling tired and I was going to bed before 9 o'clock. Not like long before 9 o'clock, but usually before 9 o'clock most nights. And that had been real unusual for me. I go to bed at 9. A lot of times I would go to bed at 9, but I would be on my phone most of the night, which I know it's not good, but anyways, I was just still real tired, and I just didn't have a lot of energy. And actually, the not having a lot of energy had been happening for quite a while. But so then, that was probably like in May, and I also noticed I had been losing weight. And I wasn't like exercising, even though I needed to. I wasn't eating right, even though I needed to. But I was losing weight as well. Not like a lot at once. It was just like gradually. And that, like I said, that was in May. I was, I think, 204. Yeah, and then I started losing weight. So like I said, then we fast forward into October. I noticed one Sunday, I don't remember the day, of course. I noticed I was really thirsty, and it was just that day one time, and then it didn't happen for a little while. Then it didn't happen for about a week, and then a week later, like I said, or then a week later, I was thirsty again. I was getting thirsty a lot more than usual again. And then I also noticed I was starting to go to the bathroom at night, like multiple times a night, which I had never done before. And I also noticed I was having to get more water every time. But I was also getting other drinks. Yeah, like I think I got some eggnog one time. I was drinking ginger ale and just sodas, teas, whatever I could get my hands on. So yeah, like Sorry, I paused it for a minute. You might see times where I pause it and I don't know exactly where I am. But, oh yeah, like I said, I was, drinking lots of soda, more, water. I was drinking milk a lot more. I was drinking chocolate milk too, which has always been one of my favorite drinks. Anyways, so I decided, okay, I had already thought in my brain, I wonder if I have type 2 diabetes, because I was looking up all the symptoms and I was hoping I didn't. And so I went ahead and made an appointment with my doctor, and I mentioned all my symptoms and that kind of stuff. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, so then, about a week before I was diagnosed, I was noticing my eyesight was getting real bad. And so, like, I'm nearsighted, and so I either have to be wearing glasses or, like right now, wear contacts. But even those weren't helping, and I couldn't see. It was like I said, I'm nearsighted, so that means I can't see as far away. I can't see far away real well, but I can see really up close. But like I said, I was noticing that I couldn't see as well, even with corrective lenses. So then, the weekend before my doctor's appointment, my mom and I had to go pick up my nephews because we were having them for the weekend. So even though I know now, I know I really shouldn't have. My mom and I drove. I drove up with my mom. I was the one driving to pick up my nephews. We met halfway between where my sister lives and where my parents and I live. And I drove, and by the grace of God, somehow we did not have an accident. But my eyesight was so bad. I was like, Mom, can you please drive? And she was like, okay. She didn't have that great eyesight at night either. She's got cataracts and astigmatism, so her eyesight wasn't the best. But she did anyways, because I just did not feel safe driving in the dark. So, finally, that Monday, after we had already taken my nephews back, I had on November 9th, I had my doctor's appointment, and my dad and I went. And like I said, I already had an idea that I might have had type 2 diabetes. But I was really hoping I was wrong, but unfortunately I wasn't. And while I don't know for sure what my blood sugar was, my A1C was 11.3, which means that it was probably around 278 milligrams per deciliter, or 15.4 millimole per liter. That's the metric systems version. So I had diabetes. I was while this is not what happens for everybody, I was put on let's see. Sorry, I've got notes. The doctor put me on 10 units of insulin. He also had wanted me to start Ozempic. I can't remember how many it was because I didn't take that. And so we got the glucometer, the lancing devices, Lancets, which is what you use to check your blood sugar, and we got the testing strips, which is what you put the blood on to that go on the testing strip that goes is what you put the blood sugar on to test your blood sugar in the meter. And so then we got home, and when we checked my blood sugar that night, it was so high, my meter could not register it, and it only said high. It said HI, high. And I think we checked it twice that night, and it still didn't say it. So the next morning I wasn't really feeling good. Um, and so I went into my mom took me into the walk-in clinic, and they basically said I was feeling so bad because my blood sugar was so high. I was feeling nauseous. I wasn't feeling good. It almost felt like a stomach bug. Well, and the doctor gave me a prescription for, I think, Zofran to help me feel better. But then the next day, I still was feeling so bad that my dad was like, okay, we're taking you to the ER. And I'm very glad that I did go to the ER, because it turned out that I was in DKA, or diabetic ketoacidosis. Now, what that means is that your blood sugar I found out it doesn't necessarily mean it, but usually it means your blood sugar is very high and also very acidic. Now, DKA is not, it's more common in people with type 1 diabetes, but it can happen in people with type 2, or in people with type 2 diabetes, but it's very rare. But if you do go into DKA, it's very dangerous and can lead to a coma and eventually death if left untreated. So I was actually admitted to the hospital and stayed in I had to go to the ICU for 3 days, and they gave me IV insulin, and then they also had to put what's called a PICC line in my neck, because I guess I was dehydrated. I didn't think I was, but I apparently was dehydrated enough that they could not actually draw blood from my arms, so they had to do it in my neck. Anyway, sorry, I know it's a little gross. But like I said, I stayed in the ICU for 3 days and then was moved to a regular room where I stayed for 3 more days. And while I was also in the hospital, we found out that I had a mild case of pancreatitis, and which is what kept me from being able to keep food down for a few days. And so, after that, I went home. It was not the best experience because they did not tell me. They upped my insulin to 50 units of insulin for temporarily. Well, not technically. It wasn't necessarily temporary. But, anyway, so, like I said, they put me on 50 units of insulin, but I had no idea if was I supposed to do it all at once, do all 50 units at once, or was I supposed to do it at, like 25 and 25. And they just kind of sent us out the door without really telling us much. So I went back to the doctor the next day, and he gave me some medicine because pancreatitis was also was still pretty bad for me, and I couldn't sleep that first night home. So he gave me some hydrocodone, which thankfully it helped. But so yeah, that's kind of what my experience was. And now it may kind of sound weird. It's gonna sound a little weird, but I'm actually kind of glad I went into DKA and everything, and had pancreatitis and everything, because I don't think I would have taken my type 2 diagnosis as seriously. And because I think I just would have been like, well, I can gradually get off the stuff, because now I no longer drink soda or tea sweetened with sugar, which as a southerner was not really originally the easiest thing in the world to give up. And I just recently started drinking more water. I actually have a new bottle that on the front it says, looks like a beauty, drinks like a beast, and it's got the time I needed to drink the water by, and it's one of those ones where you have the morning, and then it says refill, and then you do the evening. So this is about 36 ounces, so I'm getting 75 ounces, or no, sorry, excuse me, 72 ounces per day at least, or I'm trying to. And I'm also exercising more. I don't always get 30 minutes of walking in 5 days a week, but I'm trying to get better at that. And so, yeah, it has actually helped me to get better. And I may have gained I've gained a little tiny bit of weight, but like I said, I was like 206, 204, 206, something like that before I was diagnosed, and I'm down to, I believe, 172.4. Yeah. So I've lost over 30 pounds since before I was diagnosed, and I have not gained any of it back. But yeah, so that was my first video that I wanted to share with people, and I actually already started doing a little series on Instagram TV. So if you're not following me on IGTV, I will link it down below, or I will put the link to my Instagram account down below. And don't forget to subscribe, like my video, share with any of your friends who maybe they were just newly diagnosed or something, and that way they can see that what my experience was like, and maybe to help them somehow. So I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.